Unit 1.1, Reading Comprehension. The Wise Caliph. Caliph Harun ar-Rashid was very popular with his people. He was very concerned about their problems and their welfare. At night, he would disguise himself as a common man and go through the streets of Baghdad. He would mingle with the common people in order to gain first-hand knowledge of their difficulties and problems. He was also known and respected for his justice and wisdom. One day, when he was holding court, the Qazi brought two men before him. One of them was well-dressed and appeared to be a well-to-do, respectable citizen, while the other was in rags and seemed to be a beggar. Along with these two men, a beautiful white horse was also brought in. The Qazi approached the Caliph and said, "O leader of the faithfuls, I've brought before you a dispute which I have not been able to settle. It is a difficult case, but I am certain that with your knowledge and wisdom, you will be able to resolve it in a just and fair manner." "What is the dispute?" asked the Caliph. "These two men here are fighting over this horse. Each one of them claims and swears that this horse is his." "Step forward," the Caliph ordered the well-dressed man, "and let's hear what you have got to say." The man said to the Caliph, "O leader of the faithfuls, I beg you to believe me that whatever I say in your presence shall be the truth. This morning, when I was riding to the city, I saw this beggar limping along ahead of me. On hearing the sound of my horse's hoofs, he turned round and motioned to me to stop. I pulled the reins of my horse. He begged me to give him a ride up to the city gate. He was lame. I felt sorry for him. So I pulled him up behind me on the horse. When we reached the city gate, I stopped and turned round to help him get down. He refused to dismount. I was puzzled and gently told him to get down because we had reached the city gate. He not only refused to get down, but instead, he claimed that the horse belonged to him. He said that he had given me a ride, and instead of being grateful, I was robbing him of his horse." The Caliph then turned to the man in rags and said, "What do you have to say?" The beggar limped forward and said, "Leader of the faithfuls, you are the helper and guardian of the poor. You are a wise and just Caliph. Have pity on me and save me from the cruelty and injustice of this rich man. I swear that this horse belongs to me. You must be thinking, like everybody else in this court, how a beggar like me can afford to buy and keep such a fine horse. Let me tell you that it is because of this horse that I am in rags. Whatever money I had, I spent on this horse. This morning, as I was coming to the city on my horse, I noticed this man walking along the road. When I came close to him, he stopped me and requested me to lend him my horse, for he was in a great hurry to reach the city. Of course, I could not lend my horse to a complete stranger, could I? However, I decided to help him and let him ride my horse while I sat behind him. As we reached the city gate, he asked me to get down and give the horse to him. He said that such a fine horse should not belong to a beggar. He ordered me to get off the horse, or else he would force me to get off. He further said that even if I shouted for help, no one would believe that such a fine horse could belong to someone like me. They would only make fun of me. Now, mighty and honorable Caliph, I beg you to save me from this robber and give me back my horse." "I think this case is not very difficult to solve," said the Caliph to the Qazi. "It can be decided in a minute. Tell these men to place their hands on the horse one by one. Let the beggar do it first." When the beggar touched the horse, it winced as if it did not like the touch of his hand. Next, the rich man was asked to touch the horse. At the touch of the rich man's hand, the horse snorted and neighed with pleasure. "This horse belongs to him," pronounced the Caliph. "Give the horse to its master." Then the Caliph turned to the beggar and said, "You are a liar and a wicked man. You tried to rob an honest and respectable citizen. You deserve severe punishment, but I shall be merciful and forgive you this time if you beg forgiveness from this gentleman here." The beggar, realizing that he had been caught red-handed, immediately turned to the rich man and said, "Please forgive me. I have been ungrateful. Instead of thanking you for taking pity on me and giving me a lift, I lied and claimed that the horse belonged to me." The rich man, being a kind-hearted and generous person, readily forgave the beggar. Not only that, he took out his purse and gave him a handful of gold coins. Everyone present was highly impressed by this noble action of the rich man.